Okay, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the the workshop series 3 of the Akash-a-thon. Super excited to kick this off with Austin and Red from Shade Protocol. So welcome, guys. I'm super excited to kick this off once again. And I'd like to thank Shade and Akash for taking this initiative, being super bullish on the developers, on the builders, hackers, users. Um, Feel free to share some opening thoughts and kick off the workshop session. I believe this is a wonderful opportunity for the developers, builders watching this today with a total price pool of $50,000. And feel free to take it up from here.
Thank you very much, Mashiga, and thank you, Lynn, and thank you for DoraHacks for hosting this amazing event with Akash. And we're incredibly excited to be participating in this. First, want to welcome everyone who is able to join this workshop presentation live today, and to everyone watching this afterwards as well. I'm extremely excited and thankful to be speaking to you all today on behalf of Shade Protocol, and equally thankful that Shade Protocol is able to partake in this unique hackathon for the Akash Network. My name is Red-Eyed Bear, but if you're ever reaching out to me, you can refer to me as Red, and I'm joined by my colleague Austin, and we're here to showcase Shade Protocol and talk about the Akash Hackathon track we're sponsoring, which is to build an unstoppable front end for the Shade Protocol DApps using Akash's deployment and orchestration capabilities. So I'll first give a little bit of background on Shade Protocol for anyone who's not familiar with the work that we've been doing over the past 2 years. Shade Protocol is an interconnected suite of decentralized finance applications built on top of the Secret Network. And our DApps leverage Secret Network's private smart contracts. Just a little bit of background on Secret Network. Secret Network is a permissionless smart contract platform built with the Cosmos SDK that provides encrypted inputs and outputs in state for smart contracts through the use of trusted execution environments, or otherwise referred to as TEEs. Trusted execution environments are part of the hardware specs for validators on the network, and this helps guarantee that nodes are unable to view computations that occur within the trusted environments. And this is really helpful because this preserves the privacy of the underlying data during computations. So with Shade Protocol, we implement programmable privacy, which we define as arbitrarily complex data privacy controls within the Shade applications. And we support the auditability of computations through the use of decryption tools such as viewing keys and query permits, which Austin will get into. He'll touch on a little bit later in this discussion. A little bit of other background about some of the tech stack that Shade leverages. Shade Protocol leverages the secret token standard for both Silk, Shade, and Stake Secret. The SNP standard is a spec for fungible tokens based on Cosmosm on the Secret Network. The SNP token spec is very similar to both CW20 token standard for anyone who's familiar with Cosmosm smart contracts in the Cosmos. It's also really similar to ERC20 token standard in Ethereum, except there's a few key additions to the spec over the CW20 spec, mostly relating to privacy-focused features. So now that I've touched on a little bit about the tech that Shade Protocol is leveraging, I want to briefly touch on the development environment we find ourselves building in. And this actually hits really well considering all the things that are going on in this industry right now, considering with regulations and just the general development of this space. As our digital and physical worlds continue to merge into this one space, our digital identities become more and more commonly used as a primary means of validation and verification of a person's digital and physical existence. And from our perspective, from Shade Protocol's perspective, the primary rights of ownership for our digital forms of identity have to be safeguarded and protected in the same manner with the same level of importance as is typically observed with our individual identities in the physical world, like your ID that you're carrying around, your wallet, the same level of security that you want to keep with your physical data. The same thing applies to your digital data as well. And so if we take a look at the major components of what we call digital self-sovereignty, which includes the rights to digital privacy, digital independence, digital transparency, and global financial access, we can easily understand the reason that this ethos of digital self-sovereignty is at the core and center of Shade Protocol. And focusing a little bit, taking a step back to the technology that is being leveraged to build the Shade Protocol suite. The private smart contracts that Shade Protocol utilizes, which we and the network dubbed secret smart contracts, provide a wide variety of use cases and value propositions because of the encrypted nature of these smart contracts interactions. And Shade Protocol specifically recognized the value proposition with these smart contracts that were provided for decentralized finance, such as being able to protect liquidation points for borrowing and lending protocols, prevent value extraction from front running of swaps on DEXs, prevent copy trading without consent, to be able to enable private voting for DPoS layer ones, and a whole lot more. So approximately 2 years later, Shade Protocol is now this maturing suite of private by default applications on Secret Network, and that includes over-collateralized stablecoin with these private liquidation points, hybrid DEX that utilizes a novel curve for hyper-efficient derivative swaps, stable swaps, private liquid staking derivatives, private bonds, bridge interface complementary with fee grant. And then all of this is now being coupled with this multi-chain bridging via our Shade bridge interface, our multi-wallet support, which now includes MetaMask. We were the first set of DApps in the Cosmos, non-EVM DApps in the Cosmos, to be able to fully support MetaMask for all transactions within our applications. And all of this progress and this focus on creating this really cohesive, seamless user experience, this makes it so that the first steps for individuals and their following steps for individuals within our private suite is going to be seamless. And this is in large part thanks to the work done by individuals like Austin here on this call. And I just want to point out one more thing before I hand this over to Austin. While each of our applications are valuable and create revenue in their own right, one of the most powerful aspects of our protocol is that the revenue from all of our applications goes back to the overarching protocol governed by the Shade token. So this means that there's no broken incentive alignment, there's no fractured liquidity, there's no fractured user experience. And furthermore, due to the interconnected of Shade's meta engine, which I can provide some details on a little bit later, finding product market fit for just one application can result in increased adoption across all of our applications that are connected through their shared functions. And this architecture was very much inspired by some of our core principles that were set whenever we initially set out to build the protocol. And some of those principles includes apps need to increase utility for Shade, app needs to grow the Shade DAO, and it needs to increase the utility and demand for Silk. And then another really crucial part of this experience is that there are no unique tokens per application. And that goes back to all the revenue, interconnected functionality is governed by this single token, the Shade token. So now that I've covered a little bit of who and what Shade Protocol is and why it was built, I'll quickly get into why we're so excited about sponsoring this hackathon track to build an unstoppable front end for the Shade application, and then I'll hand it over to Austin. At Shade Protocol, we refer to our suite of private by default applications that empowers both digital self-sovereignty and global financial access. We refer to this as unstoppable finance. And in order to empower this unstoppable finance narrative and reality for both the Shade Protocol DApp suite, we need to be able to ensure access to our applications is as unstoppable as the value propositions and the global financial access that our applications provide. And with Akash-a's deployment and orchestration capabilities, Shade Protocol, and by extension, our community, has the opportunity to build multiple access points to our smart contracts that are not maintained by our core contributor set. And this is valuable for many, many reasons. This decentralized infrastructure support at its core provides a level of redundancy and accessibility for the core applications within Shade Protocol suite and ensures users have global access to our financial opportunities presented by the protocol. And so for this particular sponsored hackathon track, we're seeking for individuals to launch a decentralized front end for one of our DApps. The DApp in particular that we're looking for users to build a unstoppable front end for is the Stake Secret DApp. And Stake Secret, for anyone who's not aware, is the liquid staking derivative for Secret, which is the gas token for the Secret network. This liquid staking derivative was built by Shade Protocol and is currently one of the most adopted and widely utilized liquid staking derivatives in the Cosmos. And so We're really looking to empower individuals to be able to build this front end to help set standards and uncover R&D insights into the process for future decentralized front end deployments. And with that, I will pass things to Austin to talk more about some of the technical requirements and some of the technical specs for this sponsored track, as well as some details regarding the importance of this development opportunity. So again, thank you all for this speaking opportunity, and I'll hand it over to Austin.
Thanks a lot, Red. That was a great intro to Shade, and yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having us on. Quick introduction on myself. So my name's Austin, and I'm the lead front-end developer for Shade Protocol. So I've been working on this application for the past about 2 years now, as we've built it to the current state with a lot of different interconnected primitives. And I think one of the things I'm really excited about with this hackathon, being able to sponsor this, is that I've always been really impressed, inspired by the good work that Akash has been doing with their decentralized cloud services and web hosting. And I've always dreamed of being able to put the Shade application into a more decentralized state than it currently is. And I think this is our first big opportunity to start to move in that direction. So I'm really excited about that. Just to get into the little bit of more specifics on this. So yeah, I guess overview of sort of the current state of our application. We have some reliance on various centralized services, using Netlify for our deployment, and we have some centralized services on the back end off chain to serve data to the application, and we also have a node cluster that's set up and operated by Shade Protocol team and our partners, and our front end code base is currently closed source. And like I said, we want to move all of these things towards a more decentralized future. And I have a vision, again, of trying to take this entire application and all the complexities and build it in a way that can be fully decentralized. So I want to start by giving a little bit of a demo of our staking derivative product specifically, which is what we're going to be initially sponsoring for this hackathon. So I will attempt here to share my screen. I hope this goes well. Let's see here. All right. Are you guys able to see my screen right now? Or
Yep.
not?
I can see it well.
Yeah. You can? Awesome.
Yep.
So here is
Yeah, I see it
our
too.
staking derivatives primitive. As you'll see here on our sidebar, we have a lot of other things that's going on in this application. We have a decentralized exchange on our swap tab that you can use to make private trades. We have Silk as our stable coin. You can borrow that and put up collateral in the borrow tab. And we have staking for Shade, the governance token. We have bonds that we will occasionally sell, as well as some other various utilities. But I want to specifically draw your attention to this derivatives page, which we're hoping to have this be built in a separate application deployed on Akash. So that's the goal here. You can see the first input box is secret, so that's the gas token of Secret Network, and you can convert this into staked secret, which is the staking derivative version of secret. And we have some various information about the transaction, the current exchange rate, which is always increasing as staking rewards are accruing into the contract, the fee that's associated with staking, The withdrawal period being 21 days plus 0 to 3 days based on the batch time. So we process withdraws every 3 days. The APY, which is based on various secret network parameters for the overall staking returns. And then as you scroll down, there's some various different statistics that are interesting with the product. And then when you hop to the withdraw tab, this allows you to withdraw any tokens that you've staked. And then the section down below on the withdraw tab is for your unbondings, which process every 3 days. It states here, you know, what's the next time the batch is estimated to be processed. And there's also a note here that a viewing key is required to view your unbonding. So the interesting thing about Shade Protocol and secret network development is that, you know, we're able to keep user data private. And one of the ways we do that is through viewing keys. So viewing keys is a special type of transaction that you make to the token contract, and allows you to set a string as like your password or your viewing key. And once you execute that transaction, then it allows you to make a query and return user data that only you will be able to access, which is pretty cool. So that's, you know, one of the requirements for this will be to have a viewing key transaction to the the stake secret token, and then that allows you to decrypt your private data, which is pretty cool. A couple other things I want to mention about the hackathon and some of our requirements. So we obviously don't need to build out this entire application, just this one specific primitive, this derivatives interface. We want it to be able to support Kepler, which is, you know, the most popular wallet in Cosmos. And, you know, our application supports a variety of different wallets, including just recently we added support for MetaMask. But that's going to be completely out of scope for now. You know, just focus on Kepler. We'll keep it simple. And the second requirement was that the application needs to be built in Vue.js, which is a JavaScript framework for front-end development. And there's a couple reasons that we wanted to specify this. You know, at the end of the day, like, we want decentralized tooling to be built, open source. You know, people are free to use whatever frameworks they want to build out these things. But in order to sponsor this hackathon, we wanted to specify specifically that it would be built in Vue. And that'll allow our front-end developers on our team, which are most primarily work with Vue. That's what the Shade application is built in. And we want to be able to be a resource to answer questions, to help with anything related to building this interface. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to specify that. And then secondly, we wanted to use this as an opportunity to do the exploratory research and testing to actually deploy a Vue application on Akash. And hopefully that'll allow us to someday deploy our own full application on Akash. So that's just a note there on why we specified that tech stack specifically. We want to display basically all the data that's shown on this screen. We want to have it be a part of this final product that would get built out. And the one exception to that for now is this. We put a market cap number on here, which required a CoinGecko API integration, and that's not really critical to the product. It's just more of a nice to have. So we were going to keep that out of scope. And then another feature that's not present on here that we care about is the ability for the user to go and specify a custom node endpoint that we want to work with. So, you know, currently our app is, like I mentioned earlier, set up to work with our own node infrastructure for broadcasting transactions, and we don't want to necessarily limit users to any one node in particular. So in a decentralized effort to be more decentralized. We want to give people the flexibility to have a default, but then switch to a different endpoint if they ever needed to. So that never becomes a blocker in any way for the user. So, that's a little bit about the hackathon and what we're sponsoring and the application. And I'm really excited to work with whoever may be interested in picking this up. And I want to make myself available to help clear any roadblocks with working with secret network smart contracts, anything related to viewing keys or privacy. I just want to do everything I can to be a resource and help make this a successful project. That closes it out for me.
Thanks a lot, Austin. Austin, with that, maybe you'd also want to mention if any developer, hacker, builder want to reach out to you regarding any blocker, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Let's see. I think that probably the best way would be, I don't know, Red, what would you say the best way to get in touch with us as far as communication processes for this?
I would say the easiest way would be to join the Shade Protocol Discord or the Shade Protocol Telegram, and I'm sure we'll be able to pick you out pretty easily if you start asking questions. But join the Shade Protocol Discord or the Telegram. You can find links to be able to join both of those social channels on our landing page, which is shadeprotocol.io. The actual application page is app.shadeprotocol.io, and you can also find links to our social channels there. If you click, there's a little about button on the bottom left of the app interface, and you can find our social links there. But going through there, and you'll be able to, if you just type at Austin or at Red, we'll be the first people that pop up, and we'll help you out from there.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, guys. So now you know where you need to bump these guys in order to reach out to them. So yeah, that was it for today's workshop. Red, do you have any closing thoughts for the developers watching us today?
I do want to say that this was actually really difficult to narrow down exactly what we wanted people to focus on for this sort of development collaboration, because there's a lot of synergistic benefits from incorporating both Akash's deployment and orchestration capabilities and what Shade Protocol is doing. And I think also there's a lot of synergies between what Shade Protocol is building with Silk and being able to support pseudonymous payments for deployment of these different decentralized front ends. And so I will say this is the first of what I hope to be many collaborations between the developer communities of Akash Network and the Shade Protocol contributors. And I just want to thank you guys again for allowing us to come speak to your community today and community of developers that are interested in kind of building the future of Web3 finance. And I would say to keep up with all the news and announcements going on with Shade Protocol, follow us on Twitter. If you ever at the protocol account on Twitter, we'll almost certainly see your questions there. So that's another really easy way to get in contact with us. Just add us on Twitter or send us a DM. DMs are always open. Perfect.
Thanks a lot, Red. I'm personally very excited to see what kind of projects come out of the collaboration and the hackathon as a whole. But yeah, our friend Rodrigo also has something to say over here. Please feel free to unmute and speak.
Hey, well, first of all, thank you, Austin and Red Eye for joining us and showing us your protocol. I do have a question. Oh, and also if anyone has questions how to deploy an Akash, reach out to us in our Discord. But for the derivatives, is it only for stake secret? I thought it was also Silk.
So Silk is the flagship product stablecoin for Shade Protocol. Stake Secret is a totally separate token. It's a liquid staking derivative for Secret, the gas token for the Secret network. So Secret can be normally staked, and you have your, you're bonding that Secret with validators, and you're earning staking rewards. But in order to get that secret back, you have to unbond it and you have to incur this unbonding time. So with this liquid staking derivative, users can have a fungible and liquid version of or staked representation of secret that auto compounds. So this is just specifically for the stake secret interface. So being able to interface with the stake secret smart contracts.
Got it, understood. Just had that little doubt. Thanks.
Not a problem. Thank you for asking the question.
Oop, I was mute. But yeah, thanks a lot, Rodrigo, Red, and Austin for taking this up today. And thanks to Akash and Shade Protocol for doing the amazing work they do. Yeah, you know where to reach out to these guys in case you have any questions. You can also reach out to me at Mishika251 on Twitter or Telegram in case you have any questions regarding the hackathon, the procedure, submission, etc. But yeah, with that, I'd love to close this session for today. And yeah, to all the builders, keep building, keep breaking, and good luck for the hackathon.
Thank you
Thanks
again, Mishika.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Thank you, guys.